FTX has collapsed. Thousands have been locked out of their FTX crypto accounts and their life savings are gone. For those who aren't aware of what FTX is a crypto exchange. If you wanted to buy crypto like Bitcoin or other altcoins, they were the place to go. FTX is, or rather was, the second largest crypto exchange in the world, second only to Binance. So FTX's collapse was extremely harmful to many users of the platform. Many prominent investors of FTX included WeWork investor SoftBank, the Cutthroat Asset Fund, BlackRock, Lightspeed Ventures, and Sequoia Capital, that venture fund that invested in Facebook back in the early days. FTX was a big deal. They were promoted by many sports celebrities like Tom Brady, Steph Curry, and many more. The crypto exchange had its logo on the Miami Heat Stadium. They even had a Super Bowl ad starring Larry David.
Mine first. No king! Gentlemen, have you taken leave of your senses?
Like I was saying, it's FTX. It's a safe and easy way to get into crypto.
I don't think so. And I'm never wrong about this stuff. Never. Franklin! Hey, I left my cane in there. What? What do you mean?
These ads are not only crazy expensive to put up, they're also extensively screened for quality. The big trio of finance YouTubers, Graham Stephan, Meet Kevin, and Andre Jick, openly endorsed FTX in their YouTube videos. They also extensively promoted FTX on their co-owned podcasting channel, Millennial Money, which has now been taken down, perhaps to avoid lawsuits from people who signed up, through their links in the description down below.
I'd love to repost all of our Millennial Money videos. Yeah, were we sponsored by FTX? Yeah, that's probably why it's taken down, is because there were mentions, a lot of mentions to FTX. You know, they had sponsored all of Millennial Money, so.
They've all apologized by now, and at least they are taking responsibility for the stuff they were promoting.
Growing up, I've always felt a little dumb when it comes to investing. I regret to have taken on the sponsorship with FTX on the Millennial Money podcast. I should have known better, and for that, I'm sorry. I owe you at least that disclosure and an apology. So going forward, I'm going to remove all of my BlockFi links and I will not include them, and I strongly urge anyone that has their money either on BlockFi or FTX to please move it offline somewhere that's safe.
FTX US has been a sponsor here on the channel for the majority of the year. Their international counterpart, however, FTX.com, has recently faced liquidity issues, disabled withdrawals, and because of that, I'm worried about the potential impact to FTX US. I think it's pretty safe to say as a result of that, I'm no longer working with them. I was wrong, and I'm sorry.
It sucks because, unfortunately, well, look, anybody who's been exposed to the FTX thing is just hurt and devastated, and it's just like, yeah, I feel terrible. I wish there was a way to go back and warn that these companies could collapse. But there's not, you know, and I think that's unfortunately life is like, shit, sometimes we make mistakes. And I think the best thing to do is transparently stand for that.
FTX was so big that almost all the big YouTubers were promoting it. Even Canadian billionaire Kevin O Leary was invested in the company.
And I have to disclose, I'm a paid spokesperson to FTX and a shareholder there too, and big advocate for Sam. If there's ever a place I could be that I'm not going to get in trouble, it's going to be at FTX.
So how did this $30 billion crypto exchange, endorsed by celebrities and top-of-the-line influencers, fall apart? The answer is because of one Sam Bankman. FTX was founded by Sam Bankman-Fried, someone who was considered the messiah of the crypto world. Sam wasn't like the other evil crypto billionaires. He was the Warren Buffett of crypto. He had a squeaky clean reputation. Sam donated $40 million to President Biden's midterms campaign. He welcomed regulation in the crypto industry. He was also seen as a saint, or as Nas Daily puts it, is a philanthropist.
The guy you see next to me is the most generous billionaire in the world, and I found him.
Hi, my name is Sam.
Sam Bankman used to be compared to JP Morgan, who famously bailed out struggling companies. Sam used the money from FTX to bail out struggling blockbuster crypto companies like BlockFi and Voyager Digital. This earned him a lot of goodwill from people in the crypto space. Unfortunately, Sam Bankman's picture-perfect everyman persona was a facade. His empire would all come crumbling down with a single CoinDesk article. On November 2nd, CoinDesk published an article showing FTX FTX's operations were not the squeaky clean exchange its founder made it out to be. Sam Bankman was the owner of two companies, FTX and Alameda Research. These two companies were supposed to be separate, but the CoinDesk article reveals they were only different companies on paper. In the leak, CoinDesk revealed Alameda Research had over $14 billion on its balance sheet, and that amount of money was made out of $3.6 billion worth of FTT tokens and $2.1 billion collateral worth of FTT token. So roughly $5.8 billion out of the $14 billion were just FTT tokens. When over 40% of a different company has billions of dollars locked in a different company's exchange token, you know something is up. FTT token was made out of thin air. FTX could print them at any time. People were worried that either company could collapse if FTT's value dropped. So this new bombshell revelation sent shockwaves in the crypto world. Many were questioning the monetary value of the FTT token. Crypto traders panic sold their FTT token in droves, driving the price of FTT down. Many of the crypto traders were also withdrawing their other crypto, like Bitcoin and Ethereum, out of the FTX exchange. FTX could have continued its fast for longer. One man didn't come into the picture. CZ is the founder and owner of Binance, the largest crypto exchange in the world. CZ also hates Sam Bankman, the owner of FTX, the second largest crypto exchange in the world. They used to be friends. CZ's Binance funded FTX in its early days and has tons of FTT tokens as a result. However, these days, these two have a blood feud of sorts. In a now deleted tweet, Sam Bankman took shots at his competitor, asking if CZ was still allowed to go to DC. On the other end, CZ didn't like the fact that Sam Bankman was openly lobbying the US government for more regulation on crypto. CZ put out a tweet stating they wouldn't support anyone who lobbied other crypto industry players behind their backs. CZ didn't reference Sam Bankman in his tweet, but everyone knew who he was referring to. When CZ saw the CoinDesk article had revealed FTX's lack of liquidity, he saw his chance to get back at his rival Sam Bankman and simultaneously remove one of his business competitors. On November 6, CZ put out a tweet saying Binance was going to sell over $2 billion worth of FTT token. This could potentially speed up FTT tokens' rapid decline in value. Then Carolyn, the Harry Potter fan and sultry Woodgame cosplayer, which Sam Bankman put in charge of Alameda Research, offered to buy FTT for $22 a piece. This would stabilize FTT's prices, which CZ refused. He would sell FTT in the open market instead. This meant FTT would continue to freefall. People saw the tweet and panicked even more. If CZ sold these FTT tokens, the FTT prices would go to nothing. Traders sold off even more FTT token. More people were withdrawing their crypto out of FTX. FTX had the money on paper, but its money was tied to assets it couldn't sell, mainly its FTT tokens and other crypto. Eventually, the crypto outflows got so bad it caused a bank run. FTX ran out of crypto to give back to users who were trying to withdraw their crypto. FTX had a liquidity crisis on their hands. Sam Bankman was forced to pause withdrawals. Millions of people lost access to their life savings overnight. CZ had done it. He had engineered the downfall of his rival. Then on November 8, after causing the FTX collapse, CZ put out a tweet offering to buy out FTX and signed a non-binding agreement to buy out the company. Sam Bankman confirmed this with a tweet. What CZ had done was a pro-gamer move. He had basically poisoned the entire village and showed up with the cure. This was a cutthroat business move. CZ had destroyed his rival's company and swooped in the last minute to buy the remains. FTX users who couldn't withdraw their life savings out of the exchange felt relief. Perhaps the storm would end. On November 9th, FTX users fall into despair. Binance chose to walk away from the FTX buyout. Just what had happened. CZ had apparently done his due diligence and didn't like what he saw in FTX's balance sheet. It was not worth buying. Perhaps that was why the agreement was non-binding in the first place. FTX traders panic even more. Mainstream media pumps out more doomsday articles about the FTX collapse. Sam Bankman went on Twitter and promised to give everyone their money back. He was also trying to blame FTX's collapse on a mislabeled account. He alleges he thought margin was 0 when it was actually 1.7 in his tweet. Behind closed doors, he was asking investors for the $8 billion he needed to save FTX. Meanwhile, the people who promoted the FTX exchange went into damage control. On November 10th, Graham Stephan, the finance YouTuber, posted a video saying sorry to fans who signed up to FTX because of him, but urged fans not to worry since FTX US was not affected and only FTX International was in trouble.
Fortunately, as of right now, FTX US maintains that they're a separate entity from FTX.com. FTX.com. They're fully backed one-to-one and they're operating normally. In fact, you're still able to buy, sell, and withdrawal as usual. Although with everything going on, I'm not sure how much longer that's going to last. So if you hold anything on FTX US, you could still take it out and transfer it to an external wallet or wherever else you...
He also encouraged fans to withdraw their crypto as fast as possible. In his defense, other influencers also said the same thing. Sam Bankman also tweeted out that FTX US was not financially impacted by this shitshow. On the same day, he also congratulated his sparring partner, ZZ, saying, "Well played, you won." A day later, on November 11th, FTX US, and Alameda Research all filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. It was over. FTX customers would likely never see their money again. FTX valuations has gone to zero. People who didn't have an FTX account also suffered when FTX's collapse caused Bitcoin and other crypto prices to crater. Honestly, there were a lot of warning signs in the beginning, indicating that Sam Bankman's crypto empire would crumble. Sam himself wasn't very professional. A lot of higher-ups in his company were made up of his 9 friends who lived with him in a penthouse in the Bahamas. A group of 10 people dated each other. Sam Bankman even gave his ex-girlfriend, that Harry Potter fan, Carolyn Ellison, the position of CEO at Alameda Research.
Use very little math. Use a lot of elementary school math. Being comfortable with risk is very important. Stop losses, I think those aren't necessarily a great risk management tool. Trying to think of a good example of a trade where I've lost a ton of money. Well, I don't know. I probably don't want to go into specifics too much with that.
Sam would often play League of Legends on his Zoom call meetings and kept a beanbag below his desk so he could sleep on it. Elon Musk has come out saying that his BS bullshit meter was redlining when he met Sam Bankman.
And I talked to him for about half an hour, and I know my bullshit meter was redlining, so I was like, this dude is full of shit. That was my impression.
Chamath Palihapitiya came out and said his interactions with Sam Bankman and the company were completely unprofessional.
And the person that worked there called us back and literally, I'm not kidding you, said, "Go fuck yourself." If these guys are unbelievably arrogant and smug.
He revealed that the head of compliance of FTX, a certain Daniel Friedberg, was a scumbag who had scammed users out of $50 million at a poker site called Ultimate Bet. After the bankruptcy, Sam Bankman resigned as CEO and he was replaced by John Ray, who then later revealed that someone had hacked FTX and took away over $600 million worth of crypto. FTX's CEO confirmed the outflow was an unauthorized excess of funds, and they revealed FTX's official Telegram channel was also compromised. They asked users not to install any new updates and to delete their FTX apps. They revealed they were moving all crypto from the FTX exchange into cold wallets as a safety measure. Thankfully, another exchange, Kraken, managed to find out who the hacker was. Apparently, the hackers had moved crypto from Kraken accounts, and because of Kraken's strict KYC Know Your Customer requirements, they know who the hacker is. So what happens now? Will FTX users get their money back? FTX users can't get their money out, but some enterprising users of FTX have found loopholes to get their money out. Since the FTX headquarters was in the Bahamas, there was a law in the Bahamas which meant users in the Bahamas were entitled to withdraw their money. American FTX users had their withdrawal locked, but they could still buy stuff in the FTX exchange. Some American traders used an NFT loophole to get their money out before the bankruptcy filing. The way this worked was a Bahamian user would make an NFT for cheap, like for $1 or something. Then the American FTX user would buy the NFT using all of their crypto, maybe for $10 million worth. This way, the user in the Bahamas would get all of the American user's money. Now all the American user has to do is pay a fee to the user in the Bahamas, and the Bahamian NFT seller would send the money, the $10 million, over to the American FTX user using different payment gateways like PayPal or through a traditional bank account. That is why you can see some NFTs like Crypto Cup 2022 Key NFT, which was worth less than $1, suddenly being bought for $2.5 million. Someone even bought a worthless ape NFT from the Bahamas for $10 million, presumably to get your money out through the Bahamas NFT loophole. There was a possibility the person in the Bahamas would just keep the money after selling the NFT. But what other option did overseas FTX users have? They had to bite the bullet and gamble on the possibility of getting their money back. On another note, the man who wrote The Big Short and Moneyball, which were both adapted into movies, Michael Lewis, is trying to sell the movie rights of his FTX collapse story to Hollywood, even though he hasn't started writing anything yet. Currently, both the authorities in the Bahamas and the SEC are investigating FTX's collapse as we speak. As for whether FTX customers would ever get their money back, it is unlikely. They will have to live with this loss for the rest of their lives.
Like I was saying, it's FTX. It's a safe and easy way to get into crypto.
I don't think so. And I'm never wrong about this stuff. Never.
Like and subscribe.